Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always ready to explore.
Well, today we're tackling something that's pretty hot button, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. Definitely sparks some strong
We're
opinions.
talking H-1B visas,
The gateway to the U.S. for so many skilled workers.
especially in tech, right? I mean, you see these crazy numbers like in 2019,
2019 was wild.
almost 200,000
For
applications.
only 85,000 visas.
Talk about pressure.
It's incredibly competitive.
So we're using this awesome video from Mercury News. They really break it down.
Great source.
And it gets you thinking, right? Like, how does Silicon Valley get all that brain power?
Yeah, where do they find all these brilliant people?
Well, the H-1B is a huge part of it. But of course, it's not without controversy.
Not at all. Lots of debate around it.
So let's rewind a bit for context. Like, how did we even get to this system?
Right, back in the day, it was a whole different ballgame.
Like pre-internet days.
Well, even in the early internet days, the real shift came in 1990.
1990, okay.
The Immigration Act of 1990, that's where our current H-1B program really takes shape.
So before that, companies couldn't easily hire from overseas.
It was way more restricted, even if they had skills nobody here had.
I can see how that would put a damper on things.
Totally. Especially as tech was booming, they needed those specific talents.
So 1990 opens the door, and then what?
Well, it kind of becomes the way to get top talent, especially for the tech giants.
Because, let's face it, they need these specialized folks, right?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the numbers in 2018. Over 66% of approved H-1Bs.
Whoa, 2/3.
Yeah, they were all computer-related jobs. It's not even close.
So basically, Silicon Valley's built on this, in a way.
You could argue that, yeah. They even lobbied to increase the visa cap.
Which makes sense from their perspective. They need the talent.
Exactly. They say it's crucial for staying competitive, driving innovation.
But then you have the other side, right? Those concerned about American workers.
Oh, absolutely. That's the big debate, isn't it?
The video even mentioned some people feel like entire departments,
Yeah, they're being outsourced.
like swap out the whole IT team with a firm that relies on H-1Bs.
And critics worry that's all about finding cheaper labor.
Which honestly is a valid concern. I can see why people are upset.
It does raise questions about wages being driven down, no question.
And what about training Americans for those jobs? Is that happening enough?
Right. Some argue companies should invest more in domestic talent.
So it's this balancing act, global talent versus protecting jobs here.
It's really complex. And it gets political fast.
Well, speaking of political, what about the Trump years? He wasn't a fan of H-1B.
A lot of people thought he'd slash the program,
Make it harder to get in.
Exactly. But in reality, the denial rates didn't spike that much.
So stricter, maybe, but not gone completely?
No, not even close. Seems like it's too entrenched now, regardless of who's president.
So we're kind of stuck with this system, for better or worse.
Well, stuck might be strong, but it's definitely the system we have.
And it's going to keep evolving, I'm sure.
Mhm.
But it's here to stay.
For sure. So what do we make of this? That's the real question.
Yeah, it's easy to pick a side, but it's way more nuanced than that.
Totally. Like, we need global talent. It drives so much progress.
But how do we make sure it's good for American workers, too?
All right. That's the million-dollar question. There's no easy answer.
So for our listeners out there thinking about this, how do we balance these needs?
Because global talent is vital, but so is protecting folks here.
And this isn't some abstract issue. It affects industries everywhere.
So do some digging. See how it impacts you, your field, your community.
This debate's going to rage on, so being informed is key, right?
Absolutely. Keep learning, keep questioning. That's what matters.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That was
Yeah.
age-heavy why, but super important.
Yeah, complex topics, but gotta talk about them.
Thanks for diving in with us, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring.
See you then.